Hi, in this video we will explore a new data type called bool, work with assert and delve into logical and comparison operators. We'll learn how to comment on our code and work with the built-in function ID. Imagine we need to develop a test that checks a student's correct answers. And if even one answer is wrong, the test stops. Let's start by understanding the boolean data type. It's a data type that holds only two values, true or false. We can convert any variable into a boolean type by calling the bool function and passing in what we want to convert. This is how it's done. Launch it. As you see, it's a bool type, and the result is true. Now let's input 0. We get false. You can understand it like this. When there is nothing, it's false. When there is something, it's true. If we have an empty string, it's false. But if we add even a space, have a something, so we get true. While insert empty prints to separate the output. You can also directly assign true or false to a variable. Both of these values start with a capital letter. Launch it. Here is our result. Understanding the boolean data type is crucial for programming. Since we will study many structures, then take an expression and execute or don't, depending on whether the expression is true or false after converting it to bool. That is, the expression will be cast to a boolean value. Let's see what boolean operators are. There are several: and, or, is, and not. The AND operator returns true if both operands are true. Run it. Let's make it that we can browse this code for review later. For this we need to learn how to comment. A comment in Python is text added to the code that the interpreter doesn't execute during program execution. We can use it for explanation. Or for instance to conveniently disable some code blocks from running during our checks. This is permissible during learning. When working on a live project, comments and commented out code should be minimal, with few exceptions. To comment on our line, put a sharp at its beginning. Let's insert our results after the answers, so we can review them later. It doesn't after code execution, but it will remind you of the outcome. If you need to comment out multiple lines, select them and press Ctrl+/ for Windows and Linux, or Command+/ for macOS. To uncomment, use the same key combination. Now we can uncomment the code block we need and run it. The OR operator returns true if at least one operand is true. Run it. The NOT operator returns true if the operand is false and false if it's true, reversing our values. The IS operator checks if two operands point to the same memory object, meaning their IDs match. This topic deserves a deeper discussion. To avoid making it too long and complex, we will speak about it later. To check the ID, we have the ID function. We pass a variable to it. Print it and get the memory address. The IDs match so the result is true. Now let's talk about comparison operators. We can also compare not by ID but by value using the equality operator. Represented by equal equal, it returns true if the values of the left and right side of the operator match and false if they don't. Run it and everything is as expected. The inequality operator returns the opposite, true if the values are different and false if they match. 193 doesn't equal 93. We get true here. We also need to understand how assert works. Assert works this way. The expression on the right side of the assert is converted to a boolean value. If it's true, the code proceeds. If it's false, the code stops and returns an error. The primary purpose of assert is code testing. Here we use it for educational purposes. The conditional if operator, which we will introduce in the next lesson, would be better for our task, but we'll use assert knowing the code after it will break if we have false, and our program will stop. With the theoretical part over, let's move on to practical application. So we write the expression that student must solve and store their answer in a variable which we'll then check. Don't forget that the input function will return a data type of str. So let's immediately convert it to int. Next, in the assert, we check our result. We can also use a comma to add a message that will be displayed if the statement is false, along with an error. If it's true, the program will continue. We'll then inform our user that they answered correctly and pose the next question. We'll recheck their response with an assert. If everything is correct, we'll notify them that it's all good. Let's test our program. We run it and enter the correct answers. Here it will be 6 and here 10. As you can see, there are no issues and all the messages are displayed. Now let's rerun it and go the wrong way. The program broke, displayed our message and did not proceed further. And again, this is a bad practice and we did it to understand how it works. Later, we'll explore more appropriate tools to crack those cases. I suggest you supplement our test with 3 more examples. It's like homework. Our lesson has concluded. Thank you for watching and congrats on another step you've taken. Please check the description of this video. There will be a link to a knowledge check test, practice task and a link to the code I wrote in this lesson. I would be very grateful if you could come up with a task that could be solved with the tools we've learned and post it in the comments. You can also review tasks from the comments and share your solutions. Have a great day!